The room was silent, the air thick with tension. Nobody expected Jaime Foxx to walk through that courtroom door, not as a celebrity, not as an entertainer, but as a witness. His sudden appearance sent shockwaves through the trial of Sean Diddy Combs, one of the most powerful figures in entertainment, now facing some of the gravest accusations ever seen in Hollywood. What Jaime brought with him wasn't just testimony, it was a set of secret tapes, recordings so disturbing that even hardened court officers had to look away. When those tapes played, Diddy's confident facade shattered. He slammed his fist on the table, tears streaming down his face, his entire being shaking under the weight of what was being revealed. This wasn't just a trial about music or fame, it was a collision of truth and power, a fight that could unravel an empire built on silence, fear, and control. And Jaime Foxx had become the unexpected man holding the key to a dark, hidden world few dared to speak about. But what exactly did Jaime see? What secrets lay behind the glitz and glamour? And why would he risk everything by stepping into the courtroom spotlight? The answers are more shocking than anyone could have imagined. Jaime Foxx wasn't just another star name showing up to the trial. He wasn't a close friend or part of Diddy's inner circle, but someone who had crossed paths enough to know the real story beneath the surface. His decision to testify caught everyone off guard. Why now? Why risk a career and reputation that he'd spent years building? The answer lies in what he witnessed, moments that stayed with him, haunting his nights, pushing him to finally break his silence. Jaime's relationship with Diddy began like so many in the entertainment world, at award shows, charity galas, and industry events. But that changed in 2012 when Jaime was invited to what seemed like an ordinary listening party at Diddy's Los Angeles mansion. What should have been just another night of music and networking quickly turned into something else entirely. Jaime noticed the security wasn't just tight, it was extreme. Phones were collected at the door, men patrolled with dogs, and every corner was watched by cameras. Something wasn't right, and Jaime was about to uncover just how deep the darkness went. As the party faded into the early morning hours, Jaime prepared to leave, until Diddy approached him with a proposition. "I've got something special to show you," he said. Curious and unaware of what he was about to step into, Jaime followed Diddy, along with a few other guests, through the lavish mansion. They stopped at what appeared to be a home theater, but then Diddy entered a code behind a painting. The wall moved. A secret door slid open, revealing a staircase that led underground. The house was supposed to be single level. No one mentioned a basement. Downstairs, Jaime saw rooms that didn't belong in a celebrity's home, soundproofing panels, strange lighting, and a heavy door that Diddy called his private studio. But it wasn't music they were about to hear. Inside that room, Diddy played audio, not songs, not beats, but disturbing recordings, voices in distress, people begging, crying, sounds that pierced the air like knives. Diddy leaned in and said something Jaime would never forget. "This is real power, not fame, not money. The power to make anyone do anything, and know they'll never speak about it." Jaime left shaken, making excuses to exit as quickly as possible, but the image of that basement, and the sound of those tapes, never left him. And what happened next, that was just the beginning. Jaime couldn't shake what he'd seen or heard that night. The recordings weren't accidents, they were curated, organized. Diddy referred to them casually as his collection. According to Jaime, they were performances by people who had disappointed him, moments captured in their most vulnerable, broken states. But the scariest part wasn't just the content, it was Diddy's attitude. He was calm, almost proud. "This is how you keep loyalty," he had told Jaime. "Not with contracts, with reminders." And in that moment, Jaime realized this wasn't a one-time incident. It was a system, a method, a blueprint of control. The deeper Jaime was pulled in, the more he felt trapped. He started bringing a small flip phone to events, a backup he kept hidden. At first, it was just for protection, a personal record of what he thought no one would believe. But over time, what he captured turned into something else, evidence. He had no plan to expose Diddy until the moment he saw a young woman brought into that basement, visibly afraid. Something shifted. Jaime knew if he didn't document the truth, it would stay buried forever. And yet the danger of doing so would soon become very real. After that night in the basement, the fear set in, and it didn't take long for the warnings to begin. First, a call from a blocked number. A voice Jaime didn't recognize whispered, "Just one thing, smart men know when to see, and when to be blind." Then they hung up. Days later, an unmarked package arrived at his home. Inside was a USB drive. What was on it? Footage of him, in that basement, in rooms he barely remembered entering, at angles he didn't know were being recorded. and Diddy's voice could be heard behind the camera. Everyone has a price. Everyone has a leash. Jaime wasn't just a guest at those gatherings. He was being tested, groomed, compromised. Then came the pressure. A film deal he'd been developing was suddenly cancelled. Meetings dried up. Rumors began to circulate. Jaime was difficult. Jaime was unreliable. Jaime was unstable. And through it all, Diddy never had to say a word. The system spoke for him. Lawyers, publicists, executives, all playing their part to remind Jaime exactly how replaceable he was if he didn't stay in line. The message was clear: silence is safety. But for Jaime, staying quiet began to feel like complicity. What pushed him past the point of no return, that moment's coming, and it changed everything. For years, Jaime stayed silent. He smiled through interviews, accepted awards, focused on select projects. But every time he saw someone else speak out, Cassie Ventura, former employees, anonymous lawsuits, he felt the pressure building. The final push came when a young actor he had personally recommended for one of Diddy's so-called networking events suddenly vanished from the scene. 3 weeks after the party, the rising star moved back to his hometown and stopped answering Jaime's calls. His mother later told Jaime he won't even listen to music anymore, let alone act. That shattered him. I had led someone into that, Jaime told the courtroom, his voice cracking for the first time. My silence didn't just protect me, it enabled harm, so he made a choice. He gathered the recordings, text messages, and emails he had hidden away, took them to his attorney, then handed them over to federal investigators, who were already building a case far darker than he had imagined. When they asked if he was willing to testify, Jaime said yes, not because it was safe, not because it would help his career, but because, in his words, there are some things more important than all of that, and once he took the stand, the courtroom would never be the same again. The moment Jaime began testifying, the trial took a sharp turn. This wasn't leaked gossip or internet speculation, it was first-hand, under-oath testimony backed by audio, texts, and detailed accounts. Jurors were handed sealed evidence packets. One woman gasped and covered her mouth, another looked away. Even the judge leaned forward, unblinking. Then came the audio. Excerpt 17. Inside the courtroom, Diddy's voice played on hidden recordings. Calm, controlled, and disturbingly methodical. He explained how you break someone. You strip them of their identity, isolate them, then you own everything, career choices, even their silence. That was the moment Diddy lost it. He slammed his fist on the table, tears running down his face, shaking uncontrollably. The once untouchable mogul, who had walked red carpets and ruled charts for decades, now sat trembling under the weight of his own voice echoing back at him. Jaime, by contrast, remained still, not speaking to the cameras or performing for the press, but testifying, like a man who had lived every terrifying second. The defense tried to object, again and again, claiming hearsay, irrelevance, prejudice, but the judge overruled nearly every time. The patterns Jaime described, the methods, the language, they directly supported the charges in the indictment, and behind Diddy's designer suit and courtroom legal team, it was becoming clear to everyone, this wasn't just a celebrity trial, it was the slow unraveling of a carefully constructed empire. But what Jaime revealed next would hit even harder. What Jaime revealed in his final moments, on the stand, wasn't just about Diddy, it was about the machine behind him, the system that enabled everything. He testified about a notebook he found in Diddy's office. It listed names, categories, rankings. Next to some were chilling notes, like fully controlled, needs leverage, or ready for disposal. When Jaime saw his own name labeled potential asset, needs pressure, he realized just how calculated the operation truly was. This wasn't about parties, it wasn't about fame, it was about control. Jaime explained how the pressure evolved over time. Invitations he declined were followed by projects mysteriously falling through. A refusal to attend a Diddy-backed event would be answered with a canceled talk show slot. Rumors about his mental health, about addiction, began spreading, designed to discredit him before he ever opened his mouth. And the most haunting part, Diddy didn't have to make direct threats. He had systems in place that did it for him, publicists, lawyers, producers, even executives. A quiet whisper in the right ear could ruin someone's career overnight, but Jaime's breaking point wasn't about himself. It was about the others, the ones who didn't have the platform, or the evidence, or the second phone hidden in their pocket. He ended his testimony with a voice that didn't tremble, but carried the weight of everything he'd buried for years. Diddy didn't just ruin lives, he built an empire on silence. I'm here today because someone finally has to break it. And with that, the courtroom fell silent. This trial may be about one man, but what it's revealing, it's bigger, much bigger. Because once you peel back the layers of fame, wealth, and power, you're left with a simple question no one wants to ask.
Years old, and I should mention he was signed by Usher to a label that was owned jointly by both Scooter Braun and Usher, and he was considered Usher's protege. He has been described Usher as his mentor. The Bieber, Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to his original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is. He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion. Take a listen.
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people.
Woke up, I look at the computer say, Floyd said, T.I. I'm like, what did he say me for? Now your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your I said, say fuck that nigga. This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. Show me one place in the federal guidelines where you can have 10 machine guns and get 1 year of community service and 1 year incarcerated.
T.I. is in an interrogation room talking. He's snitching. I thought we don't talk to the police.
I'm the only one who's not offended by his brass approach, and he's not offended by mine. So, we play rough, but we ain't no issue. It's a mutual
Between
respect.
50 Cent and T.I. is a saga that has been simmering for years, and right now there are no signs of it cooling down.
To everyone listening to it, is an awesome song. Listen carefully. Actually, you don't have to even listen that carefully. There's a line in there directed at another rapper in the game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What line? What rapper is on?
It was a line that has you questioning that you have. Is it true you have the best lawyers in the game?
I feel like I do.
Okay.
I have a great legal team.
And you asked them a question that if you got caught with 10 weapons in your car, you would have seen 10 years, maybe 9.
What makes you feel like there's a line to a rapper?
Yeah. It just seemed to be very coincidental with the timing of things that are going on.
That's like.
Will you deliver the line for me 1 second? I don't want to do it injustice.
You use real life situations to create something that's entertaining without being specific. That's entertainment to me. Like if I had an issue, when have you known me to be indirect with an issue?
Oh, you're pretty direct.
Right, so if I had a problem with any artist, trust me, they would know. You see what I'm saying? When I take it and I write that, it's because a lot of people think that. Yeah. And they're not saying it because they're cowardly people. You see what I'm saying? So when you write it and you put it there and you leave it and say, watch, let me watch and see what happens. And there's so much controversy around it, you didn't say anything. Then you go, see, they think that. They just won't say it to them because they're a bunch of punks.
Will you drop the line for me? That line that starts off with about having the best lawyers in the game.
I got the best lawyers money can buy. They said it would have got me 10 or maybe 9. I said, well, how do you explain how homie breathes? I said, to keep your mouth shut or you eat the cheese. You so tough.
Are you telling me that's not directed at a specific rapper?
Well, I can't. With my intentions, if I have a problem, me, my MO, and I would just say something. You know, so it's not really directed at him. It's me taking real life situations that these things are relevant to hip hop. Period. You see what I'm saying? So I take it and I make something that's interesting enough for people to sink their teeth into, and then I move forward. If you have beef, then we make it beef.
Can you understand? Well, you know me, I'm direct too.
Yeah.
Is that line about T.I.?
Absolutely for the public to decide.
Everyone, how are you doing? I am just bringing it to your attention that it is now July the 6th. And I gave you 2 days for a grace period just because I had to get together. I was having a good time. But 5 mics, there's an ab check for you or a paycheck for me. Thank you. Let's see where you at right now. Let's see where you at right now. 1,000 by July 4th. 1,000. Okay, man.
It's the 6th.
It is.
It's my birthday.
It is.
Y'all here, we enjoying ourselves in Miami. But it's Saturday. Sunday means you're only a day away from Monday.
Man, you ain't got but.
And we want the money come Monday, 5.
Or else.
Get the money. We want it once. We want it once. Not 90 in the stack, though. Make sure they give you the whole 100.
No. And I'm gonna spend your money right now. I'm going to borrow $1,000 from 50.
Yo, tell you about what happened last night, right? Snoop come backstage in the Barclays, right? So he come, he smoking the weed and shit. Yo, this niggas was smoking bro. Like, that shit was not even regular weed, I promise you. Crazy. I'm high as a mother, and I ain't even smoking. So I'm like, he said, yo, you want me to do anything? I pop out. I'm like, all right, cool. We do something. You know what I'm saying? Then the promoter came in. He saw the money. When the money came, that ass went up like. I should have known right there. Not that I have to go on stage, but then I love to come on stage. After we come on stage, he talking about, yo, you gotta give me something. You gotta give me some money. Huh? What you talking about? Why you didn't get that from the promoter? You gotta charge these. Man, this is not me, man. This is them, man. They